Welcome to Thoroughbred 360, insights, stories, and strategy from the commercial world of thoroughbred racing with your host, Bruce Slade. Welcome everyone to this week's episode. Another big weekend of racing, of course, a big weekend of sport. The Socceroos getting their World Cup campaign off to the best possible start. That was great viewing there on Sunday afternoon. But on Saturday, all eyes were on Brisbane, their big Stradbroke day. I was grateful to be there with my whole family. Got to cheer home LL Counts in the Brisbane Cup. Got to see some really nice horse flesh going around, and the sun turned it on early in the day too. So the crowds were there in Brisbane at the Eagle Farm for their big race day, and it was just great to see a lovely atmosphere all round. Of course, some big race results there, some big commercial successes. Number one, Spicy Martini. She won the big one, the Stradbroke handicap. Just awesome to see how much it meant to trainer Toby Edmonds after her win. Of course, you know, these trainers, it is a brutal passion they have. But it is a passion. It sees them up and working basically all hours of the day, all days of the week. And they put so much in. It was just nice to see Toby nail a big result. Of course, the background to this mare, she's obviously had her foot issues and that kind of thing, but she's lightly raced. She's obviously high class, and now she's won a big Group 1, so she's worth plenty of money. Of course, beautifully bred. She's by Justify. Her third dam is a Lingy. It's a great family. And this filly was purchased by Toby's partner, Holly, online for just $8,000. I believe she had a stifle cyst, which was made clear to everyone bidding on her, and hence she made so little. But actually a lovely style of man, like I say, beautifully bred, and now a Group 1 winner with plenty of racing upside too to come. You have to think she's worth plenty right now. 7 figures plus, that is for sure. Key commercial outcomes from the race, of course, that was Justify's first Group 1 winner. Now, Justify no longer stands here, but he really has added a lot of value in the time he was here in Australia. Across Australasia through his Australian-born foals, he has had 195 runners for 11 stakes winners. So just over that 5% stakes winners to runners, and 23 stakes horses, so over 10% stakes horse to runners, which is a sign of a very good stallion, well above average. And like I say, now the sire of his first Group 1 winner here in Australia to go with his Group 1 winners in Europe and America. He's really been a consistent high-class performer in the stallion ranks right across the world. And terrific that we have two of his best sons here in Australia at stud that we can access, that can continue to add value to our genetic pool. With, of course, City of Troy and Storm Boy at Coolmore, and they were the best colts for Justify in Europe and Australia, respectively. What's more, other nice commercial outcome here was for Grenville Stud in Tasmania. Graham and Bart McCulloch, they of course purchased Spicy Martini's half-sister from Toby Edmonds' stable last year at the Magic Millions Broodmare sale for just $80,000. And she was a really good sort by I'm Invincible. And she's now being bred up commercially. So well done to the guys there. A nice big pedigree update for them. The other big commercial result from Saturday was in the Group 1 JJ Atkins over a mile for 2-year-olds. Of course, this is a race that's seen so many nice 2-year-olds run good races and go on to do big things in the spring, particularly from the Chris Waller yard. The likes of Zoo Star came through this race. The likes of the Autumn Sun came through this race. And now Tron Bolt. Big stories here are, number one, of course, he is an Inglis Breeze Up graduate. We've talked about the upside, the growth in the Breeze Up market. Tron Bolt, exactly what we're talking about. Better quality horses being sent to these sales, a better volume of high quality operators preparing horses for these sales here in Australia. This one prepared by Liam Ruddy and Kate Evans. Well done, lads. I think it was their first Breeze Up sale that they'd actually had a draft. They bought this horse at the yearling sales for $250 to target the Breeze Up market. They obviously sold him for a sale topping $900,000, and here he is now a Group 1 winner and a high value stallion prospect, which all bodes well, as I say, for our Australian Breeze Up sales. In New Zealand, this segment of the market has been so important, and it's a growing one here in Australia. And it's becoming bigger and bigger. And commercially, it's becoming more important. And I think we'll see a wider scale owners, agents, trainers targeting racehorses from these sales in Australia going forward through Inglis and through Magic Millions. Interestingly, Tron Bolt was the first male stakes winner for Toronado in the last couple of seasons here in Australia, which just speaks volumes for what an appetite Hong Kong, the Asian market, have for the sons of Toronado. Of course, we've mentioned before how many of his top colts do end up getting traded to Hong Kong. Now, of course, Tron Bolt runs in the Hermitage Thoroughbreds colours. Of course, they are based in Hong Kong, but this guy with his CV now, no doubt he'll be doing his racing here in Australia and one day finding a commercial place at stud too. Skyhook is another colt that's building a stallion CV, and he did again on Saturday, winning the Gun Sind in very good fashion there in Brisbane. He has now won 4 stakes races, Skyhook. And no, he hasn't won his Group 1 yet, but he's a horse that's building to that sort of high-profile race. And when he does land one, his body of work as a 2-year-old being a Pago winner, and now his 3 stakes winners at 3 stakes winners at 3 adds to this colt by Written Tycoon's overall profile. He's a horse that will race on for the Stallion Match team, for the Gerald Ryan, Sterling Alexio team. Well done, guys. He will race on to next season, and obviously Target Group 1 race is now effective from 1,200 metres to a mile, so nice options available to him. And of course, the rich $10 million Golden Eagle for 4-year-olds at Rose Hill, over 1,500 metres. That looks just an absolute lovely target race for him this coming spring. Other key results from Brisbane on the weekend, of course, the Brisbane Cup I mentioned, won by LL Cants, Gay Waterhouse, Adrian Bott, 3,200 metres. Gee, she stays all day, this mare. I've mentioned before, she's one of the best bred fillies in the world. Of course, the Grand Dam is Albanova. It's a family of Alpinista. It's Kirsten Rousing's famous A family, and she is now a 3-time group winner, LL Cants. And her value is probably higher in Europe than it maybe perhaps in Australia. So it'll be very interesting to see where she lands up down the track. But she's a beautiful specimen, grey, big moving, lovely scoping, lovely shape to her. So she won't be one that'll disappoint on type as a broodmare prospect going forward either. Todd Pollard, great scenes with Toddy winning his first stakes race, of course, his first season as a trainer. Won a stakes race with Midnight in Tokyo, who've been the owners of her have been terrific supporters of Todd from the outset. He is now a stakes-winning trainer. Of course, Todd has done so much time, worked in great system with Stephen Marsh, and Annabelle and Rob Archibald are now out in his own in Brisbane. And another, like I spoke about before, young trainer having a crack in one of the most hard, difficult capers, professional capers. But as I say, he's at the sales. He's been at the sales, working away, building his stable of young horses. He's been obviously building a stable online as well, built a nice brand for himself in a very short space of time. And it's great to see him get his first stakes win. And I'm sure there's many, many more to come for Todd Pollard and his team. A couple of key 2-year-old results from the weekend. Of course, Wild Ruler had his 8th winner, Ruler Night for Matty Hoysted, debuting and winning nicely at the Gold Coast. That proven thoroughbreds runner and winner has now taken Wild Ruler to 8 individual winners here in Australia. So for a horse that is in a really tough year, a hard year with home affairs and staying inside of doing such a terrific job, he has now had 2 stakes winners and 8 winners versus Home Affairs, who's had his 9 winners and stay inside 7 winners. So Wild Ruler doing a terrific job fighting it out with those 2 big profile first crop sires. Cool Gent, also a 2-year-old stakes winner from the weekend. That was in the Oxlade Stakes at Brisbane. This is a great story. Shane and Adam Barling bought this horse with the help of Liam Birchley. Now, Liam Birchley is just a sensational trainer of 2-year-olds in particular. Finds them at the sales for next to no money. Has won many featured 2-year-old races, including the Cracker Million a few times. And nice to hear that Shane and Adam had Liam on their team here, helping them source this horse, Cool Gent, and then, of course, helping them along as well with the training of this horse to win the stakes race. So congratulations, guys. And yeah, tip the hat to Liam Bursley here for his involvement there as well. Just an incredible person to get a 2-year-old up and running. Winning Rupert, of course, now stands in WA. He was purchased online by Luke Fernie to stand over there. Really handy sire of Winning Rupert. Lots of stakes winners to his credit. And I believe this is his first 2-year-old stakes winner too now. So it's another feather in his cap. On Saturday evening, there was a lot of anticipation around race 1 at Sha Tin in Hong Kong. There has been so much chat, so much whispers, so much bloodstock activity, commercial bloodstock activity happening in and around this debutante at Sha Tin, Jedi Spurs. When I say commercial activity, I'm talking about trade of bloodstock in and around this horse before he even had run. He was on debut, started at $1.80, and he won with a leg in the air, Jedi Spurs. He won by 5 lengths, of course, trained by David Hayes, a horse purchased by Merrick Staunton at the Inglis Weanling sales for David Price and his Hong Kong management group. Importantly, a son of Cosmic Force. So Cosmic Force now with this superstar in Hong Kong, a horse that David Hayes is tipped to being the horse to follow in the footsteps of Ka Ying Rising in terms of being one of the stars of his stable, and Cosmic Force being a son of Deep Field, that Deep Field presence again to the fore in Hong Kong. Of course, he is the leading sire of winners in Hong Kong this season. Again, Deep Field being a terrific, prolific sire in Hong Kong, and now his son Cosmic Force carrying the baton. And a horse like Jedi Spurs, of course, just drives a whole different level of demand for his colts in particular going forward. From the commercial sales part of the business, of course, last week was the final weanling sale in Australia, the Great Southern Sale. I attended myself there for a couple of nights, and I came away with it and put on social media just what a strong sale this was. 27 foals last year at this weanling sale made 100,000 or more. This year, 55 made 100,000 or more. And we saw this demand, this appetite for good foals right the way through the Inglis and Magic Millions weanling sales this year. And on the other side of that, I said to everyone, and I said to breeders, this weanling market is a great opportunity for breeders, particularly small to medium-sized breeders. Now, I want to explain this. Number one, the demand. The demand currently outweighs the supply of good foals in the market, and I believe that's why you saw these good foals making even more. The entry of SP Bloodstock, Stefan Party's SP Bloodstock into the market, of course, in the last couple of years, where Stefan's really targeted high quality foals and done very well trading them back into the yearling market, has been met with success. And of course, that's brought Stefan back to the buying bench. But he's also working in with quite a few other operators, the likes of Grenville Stud, agents like Avesta Bloodstock, Jimmy Unwalla, and working in and teaming up with the likes of Suman Hedge and a few others there too, where he's teaming up and buying foals with farms with the view to reoffering them as yearlings. Of course, he's got good competition from the likes of Trilogy and Suman Hedge, who were amongst the leading buyers this year as well at the Great Southern Sale. Jim Carey, hugely active across all the weanlings for good quality stock. Mark and Shelley Treewick were amongst the leading buyers here at Great Southern. Of course, Lyndhurst. These are big foal buyers that are commercially minded, who are also getting met in the sales ring by the likes of Yulong, who purchased the highest price foal at the sale, the Animo filly, for $820,000. No doubt she will not be reoffered. She'll be going straight to stud. Simon Miller was the leading buyer of foals here at the sale by numbers, with 6, of course, the leading Perth trainer. The likes of Cameron Cook, who operates a lot for Ultra Thoroughbreds, was a big buyer here. As was Chris Lawler's International Health Supplements. Race a lot of horses, does Chris. Syndicators like Bennett Racing we're seeing on the buyers list there as well. So you're getting a really nice mix of trading buying bench and end user buyer bench, and they're competing on these foals. And of course, breeders getting well rewarded for offering good stock at the foal sales. And like I say, the only thing limiting this niche or this segment of the market, and I can see with the prices being paid now, it's going to grow, is offering a higher scale of quality offerings. And once that comes into the market over the coming years, you'll see this niche or this segment grow bigger and bigger. The advantages for breeders, particularly small to medium-sized breeders here, is this is a sale where you get full exposure. You don't have to fight for your place in a sale. You don't then need to fight for exposure in a yearling sale. At a yearling sale, sometimes small to medium-sized breeders can be at a disadvantage in terms of where they might be placed on site with their brand, their relationships with the buying bench there at the yearling sales, which is more trainers and syndicators and one-off owners. So you can overcome all that by offering a nice foal, selling it to a different buying bench. It's a buying bench of stud masters, of agents, and like I say, more and more end users. But it's an easier way to form relationships, but also have relationships with the buying bench there. And of course, you take away so much risk. You take away risk of the extra cost of yearling preparation. There's no scopes required, and it's a huge saving on time and of course staffing too. Offering foals and then be able to rest your land and not having to overwork your staff, not having to attend that many more sales, etc., etc., etc. So all those things where economies of scale can help. This is a great way or great model to go with, and Burnaway North is just a shining example of what can happen and the success you can have selling your whole foal crop as weanlings. Now, I will say the only deterrent or the only downside, I think, to offering the foals is where I do feel like you have a few more lesions or notes on x-rays. Of course, there's a lot of things that these weanlings have on x-ray that will grow out by the time the yearling sales come. And that can, I suppose, dent the value of some foals. But in those situations, I think you're also dealing with the buying bench that knows foals x-rays, that they understand this age very well. And therefore, yes, it may reduce how much they'll spend on a foal, but it doesn't necessarily mean they'll walk away either, because they'll just build that risk into the cost of the foal and they'll still be on and play to a certain level. So in conclusion, if you are a small to medium breeder, do have a look at a weanling sale model that if it does work for you and your farm, particularly if you're a hands-on stud master. Secondly, I wanted to say congratulations to Three Bridges, to the Liston family. Great scenes afterwards alongside co-owner Peter Murray. Of course, this mare was purchased in conjunction just last year for $900,000 Fem Fireball by Toby Liston, the Three Bridges team, alongside their agent Paul Willits, and Pete Murray, who has his mares there at Three Bridges, alongside his agent Craig Rounsfell. Together as a team, they bought this mare, certainly paid for her, took a real chance on a high quality mare. And of course, she has now produced 2 Group 1 winners from her first 2 foals. And just 12 months down the track, her $900,000 cost has been paid back by her first foal, a beautiful Animo filly, selling for $820,000. So congratulations to them. Hard to do, and you guys, such a thrill to see you guys A, get the result, but B, see how much it meant to you, and particularly for Peter Murray, you could see how much it meant to him, and of course the Liston family who've been through so much recently on the health side of things. So well done to them. That wraps up this episode. Of course, so much to look forward to this coming week, team. We've got Royal Ascot coming online this week. So late nights, go the Aussies. Of course, Overpass, Jolly Star, Asfura flying the Australian flag, as are our jockeys. Zach Lloyd over there for his first English stint. James McDonald, of course, and Josh Parr there to ride Overpass, and hopefully gets another ride or 2 there of it too. But that'll be fantastic watching. Of course, we've got the Soccer World Cup on at the moment and Origin on Wednesday night. Lots to look forward to. Thanks for your time. Thanks for watching. See you again soon.